This is one of the most asked questions. Is the 1963 an Igbo coup? The answer is no, but you will never find out because they are deliberately keep the 1963 coup to divide Nigerians for the British to survive. You see, for the West to survive, the Africa must be divided, fighting, killing each other for the West to survive. The British and the West has always played Africa against Russia. Exactly what is happening now. Look at this for yourself.
In Nigeria, the federal government were fighting a vicious campaign to stop Biafra from seceding. The British government were secretly supplying the federal side with weapons. Their aim was to protect Britain's oil interests in Nigeria. But the Sunday Telegraph printed an internal government report which exposed this, and there was an outcry. The man who leaked the report was an idealistic young journalist, Jonathan Aitken.
If you had known in advance how much trouble it would have caused, would you once again have passed on that report to the Sunday Telegraph?
Well, my goodness, that's a difficult question. I think the answer really is this, that given that situation of that ghastly war going on, and given the fact that I believed I received that information in good faith, I think it was my duty as a journalist and indeed as a citizen of this country to pass on that information. So I think the real answer is yes, I would do it again.
Should we stop sending arms to Nigeria? Whether this would have any effect or not, should we stop sending them now?
Yes.
Hugh Fraser.
To my mind, it's a very simple, and the answer is yes. The alternative is, as proposed by people like Woodrow Wyatt and an MP in the Times today, to keep up with the Russians. This is morally absolutely intolerable. It's politically inept. Your policy is losing out. You're making a fool of ourselves throughout the world. The people are regarding this country with moral obloquy. It's not this merely question. The policy has failed.
If we don't supply arms to the Nigerian government, the Russians are going to go on doing it. The Russians have told the Nigerian government that whatever happens, they're going to see them through to victory. Well, is it wise that we should allow the whole of this vast area, with 52 million people in it, with more oil in it than Kuwait, to fall into the hands of the Russians? I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
You see, this tell you that the 1963 meant for the nationalization of Nigeria waits for people, for Nigeria to manage their own way within their own self. But the West does not want Nigeria to grow on their own Africa, because you see, Nigeria is one of the best countries in Africa. If it became a sustainable, strong economy, the next nation will follow, and this will affect the West economy. Nobody wants to fall. You see, that is why our leaders are used as a guide to destroy the economy, for them to enrich themselves and their family. Recently, just look at these reports
that British intelligence approves of and which ones it views as threats. So what approved people and positions were to be defended according to this document? Civil society actors, Nigeria's president, Shell, Bill Gates, GMOs, vaccine. And who were the threats? Pan-African anti-GMO campaigners, anti-Bill Gates content, Twitter users who criticize Shell, Peter Obi, and of course, David Mbe. The accusations of being pro-Kremlin, Russian-sponsored, misinformation, or any other combination of this.
You see, I'm not asking you to take my word for it. Okay, here is the word of the Major Zongo, one of the major actors in 1963 coup. This is what he has to say about the 1963 coup.
The young officers had within Igbos, Yorubas, and Hausas. These were at the middle level because they were essentially majors. By then I was a lieutenant colonel, so I wasn't part of it. I was then commanding a battalion in Kano. The coup ostensibly, because I later found out that the whole aim of the coup was to halt this apparent drift in Nigeria. But significantly, you know what they wanted to do? To create a presidential commission of army officers as a safeguard, the people who would guard the nation, and hand over government to Chief Obafemi Awolowo. The idea was to release him from prison, make him prime minister, and in the hope that Nigeria would become a better place. That is actually how.
So it was really
the Yorubas and their leader that we are going to benefit
absolutely.
from the coup, not the insinuation that it was an Igbo coup.
No, certainly not.
Okay. Your Excellency, we have
And not only that, and I think because a lot of things have been said about this. Who actually halted the coup? Agui Ironsi in Lagos, an Igbo. Emeka Odumegwu in Kano, an Igbo. The Igbos halted the coup. How can it be at the same time an Igbo coup halted by Igbos? There's something odd about that.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Did Ojukwu cause any war? Gowon is alive, go and ask him. Did Ojukwu cause any war?
There were protests throughout Africa. Britain was seen as helping the Nigerian government to pursue a policy of genocide. The scandal also split opinion in Britain.
You see, this tell you the 1963 was not an Igbo coup. So it's time for you to wake up, think for yourself. Nigeria can be divided any longer along tribe. We are one nation, we are one people. It's time to start working. No one has to do it for you. The West is not coming to save you. Not the Igbo, not the Hausa. No one is coming to save you. Only Nigeria can save Nigeria. And it can only happen when your vote counts. That's when you can save, not when we select leaders like Prezi. It only counts, it only happens when our vote counts and we're able to hold our leaders accountable to their promise of their campaign. That's only when Nigeria can be a better nation, because then everyone will be responsible, everyone will be held accountable for their own promise, their failure, their good. Thank you.